Hello everyone, Bertina Amy here, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I thought I would do a Dollar Tree DIY St. Patty's Day Shamrock Wreath. Okay, so for some reason, the day that I was recording this, the sound wasn't working, so I'm just having to do this voiceover. But anyways, I bought this wall decor piece from Dollar Tree with 3 shamrocks, and I decided to get the one with the gold in the middle mainly because just in case I decided to use some gold in my decoration or embellishing part of this process. So upon closer inspection, I noticed that there was these 3 little plastic rings that are very easily removable, and that's what actually connects the pieces together. I'm sorry, there were 2, not 3. So I go ahead and take one off, and then I select one of the 3 pieces to go ahead and take off all of the tinsel, and it's really easy to do. Once the tinsel was entirely removed, I noticed that these pieces also had the prongs just like the ones on the hearts. So I go ahead and take some pliers and I just try to carefully pull them off, and they actually pull off nice and clean, and I do that until all of them are pulled off. These are super easy to pull off in a more of a peeling off kind of a motion. Once all those prongs are peeled off, then I go ahead and grab the green burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree Crafter's Square section, and I go ahead and remove the plastic packaging and take the ribbon completely off the spool. I also go ahead and fold the ribbon in half both ways off camera. So in this video, I decided to start wrapping my ribbon at the very top of the shamrock. However, I actually recommend turning your shamrock upside down if you repeat this project and start wrapping from the stem instead. I think it turns out looking much better, and you'll see that in my DIY centerpiece project that's coming up next. Since this shape is new to me in wrapping this method onto these sort of wreath-like forms, I basically just kind of wing it. So I'm always learning as I'm going, and it's kind of a trial and error. There's nothing really wrong with doing it the way I did it here in this video, but it's just that I think it looks neater and nicer if you start from the stem instead, especially in the case that with the first 2 pieces that I wrapped and the second one being off camera, they ended up not being enough ribbon for one roll. So I needed to buy a 4th ribbon to cover up the imperfections so that it would look nicer and neater. So if you start from the stem, you can avoid that process altogether. Somehow that works out even better. And especially if you go from the stem to the very top of the shamrock, then when you do the sides, it's okay if you don't have enough, if that makes any sense, because then it hides in the back sort of. And you could always attach, if needed, extra pieces from the 4th ribbon that you buy if you buy a 4th ribbon. I hope that makes sense. I can't recall if I maintained consistency when I was making this piece, but I did start it off as leftover right, so just make sure when you're doing this project, if you decide to repeat it, to always maintain consistency just so that it looks even and like it has a pattern. If not, it might look kind of off. So I think it looks kind of off already just because of the fact that it goes inward very sharply or whatever, because they're basically like heart shapes attached to a singular piece, if that makes sense. But in any case, I think it looks okay. Hopefully you can't tell that there's any issues. Honestly, even looking back, I can't really tell, so it might be okay with this specific project. So I think you get the idea from here, and I'm going to come back when the whole thing is wrapped and just share right now that I also will be putting the tinsel back around the sides as well, just kind of like the way I did for the heart one, because apparently I didn't record that part. So it should show up in my next video where I do the DIY Shamrock centerpiece. So stay tuned for that. I should be more thorough with that one, and I do apologize for that in advance. But in any case, we're going to fast forward to its being completely wrapped. Okay, so here's my shamrock completely wrapped. I had an extra light that I wasn't going to use as a light from the last thing of LED lights for my centerpiece. Decided to glue the extra piece here. I thought that would look cute. And I'm actually going to go ahead. You have the option if you wanted to just go ahead and cover up the burlap. If burlap is not your thing, go ahead and cover it up. But I think it looks more visually appealing to be able to see that burlap. So I'm going to go ahead and hot glue this down like that. And then just give it some time to adhere and cool. Okay, so I wanted to try something out as like a trial and error to see if I would like it. So what I decided to do was I decided to use regular Scotch tape to tape the lights into place. And this is what I have in the back. If I decide to keep it this way, I was thinking of just kind of gluing this directly down to the back, and I'd want it centered. I hope that makes sense. I'd want it centered, and then that way I can just turn it off and on. And then if I do that, then I can place this back on top. Make sure those wires go through without damaging it. So then that can go like that. So when we flip it over, and I know it's going to be hard to appreciate it, but here it is with the lights off. This is totally optional. I do like it. I just wanted it to be even, and unfortunately I couldn't get one more light here. So that is why it looks like this, but if the lights are off, it's also okay too. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And here's the final result. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And here it is with the lights on. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and subscribe. And until next time, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.